Big news in relation to Joe Jonas, as we have some updates on how he's doing during the divorce. For those of you not aware, Joe Jonas is currently going through divorce proceedings with his wife, that thick red-haired chick from Game of Thrones. Joe very famously tried to label his ex as a derelict mother and a party animal, which blew up in his face, and now everyone hates him. Anyway, we have gathered some insight from people within Joe's camp, which we will be covering in today's video. According to a source, Joe Jonas has been distraught following the split between Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. Our source has made it clear that Joe is upset at how successful Ben Affleck has been using the media to win the split. Joe Jonas has been quoted as saying, "It's not fair, man. When I tried to disparage my ex-wife in the news, everyone called me an asshole." End quote. This is, of course, in reference to the various stories that have been taking over internet threads and media sites around the world. For instance, People magazine reported that Ben and J-Lo have different approaches to media attention, with the exact quote in question being, "Ben hates all attention and it makes him very uncomfortable. Jennifer has always had a different approach." Joe Jonas was apparently livid by this quote, stating, "Oh, come on, man. The guy that bombed at Tom Brady's roast and was the worst part of the Dunkin' Donuts Super Bowl ad hates attention?" Joe Jonas continued by stating, "Nobody has a problem when Ben Affleck runs stories calling J-Lo a media whore. But apparently I'm the devil when I call my ex a party animal. It's just not fair, man." End quote. Our sources say Joe Jonas theorizes the reason people took her side in the divorce is because they feel bad for what her character went through on Game of Thrones. He apparently thinks the forced marriages and sexual assault portrayed on the show is why people took her side in the divorce. Joe Jonas was quoted as saying everyone sees her as the oldest daughter of House of Stark, when really they should be seeing her as the woman that was lucky enough to marry me, Joe Jonas. End quote. Our source has informed us that Ben Affleck is not the only celebrity Joe Jonas has been upset with. Apparently, Joe is still very upset with Taylor Swift and how she publicly had his wife's back in the divorce. Joe was quoted as saying, "Is that bony giraffe of a woman really still that upset I dumped her? How does she even have time for this? Isn't she supposed to be in like Brazil or some bull like that? I guess owning a private plane gives you more free time, but some of us care about the environment." Joe continued by saying, "I didn't get involved when she was dating that racist guy, Matt Healy, nor did I point out that her current relationship with Travis Kelce is an obvious smokescreen to make her fans forget that she used to date Matt Healy." End quote. Sources also let us know that Joe Jonas is glad that Rory McIlroy lost the US Open of golf. Joe was quoted as saying, "I was really pulling for Rory to win, but then he reconciled with his wife. I was disgusted by this and immediately started rooting for Bryce. It's really good to see a guy with no wife win it all." End quote. Sources have been very concerned for Joe's mental health, as he apparently spends all his free time preparing media hit pieces for when his brother Kevin divorces his wife too. As to why he doesn't do the same for Nick, Joe was quoted as saying, "Nick is a little and lets his Indian woman walk all over him. He doesn't have the balls to leave her." Well, it sounds like Joe Jonas is taking his divorce in stride. We'll be sure to stay in touch with our sources and keep you all updated if we hear more. If you would like to keep up with all of our stories and breaking news, then do please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time.